What's up, everybody? So, this is a little bonus episode for the Jurassic Park games. I kind of had this idea at one point, way back when I was going to do like my original idea. And I just kind of was thinking about what I wanted to do next. I realized there was still some things I had left over I wanted to say of the Jurassic games because I spent so much time with them earlier in the year. I have so much footage and I liked the video I made for it. It felt very just kind of off the cuff. It was very casual, very laid back. This one will be even more so. I think I'm going to do way less edits. What you hear in this one will be very much just kind of like a bonus, almost podcasty-esque kind of episode where you'll hear all like the in-between dialogue. I talk much slower than I usually do in my videos. So there's really only two main points that I wanted to touch on that I feel like I kind of didn't mention enough in that original one that just came out yesterday. And that's to focus a little bit more on the canon side of the game because it is no longer canon. And then also talking a little bit more about that classics collection. And yeah, let's just start with a little bit on the canon side of it because that was kind of a main part of like a main focus of that original. I was gonna make it like a documentary style video. But as for the story of it, so it was created to be a canon side story that works along with that original 1993 movie from Steven Spielberg based on the Michael Crichton book, of course. And through the years since its release, when it came out in 2011, we've obviously had a lot of like more Jurassic things coming out. Jurassic World came out, that whole trilogy happened. There's been TV shows, there's been some books. And from all of those things, the canon of like those movies now existing in the Jurassic world or Jurassic universe, I suppose, that kind of eliminated the existence of this game in the actual canon, in the timeline that like, you know, these characters all live in. And I don't have all the details. I don't know exactly like why it isn't canon anymore. I don't know if it's because if I went back and watched the movies, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like the InGen embryos, because they got destroyed. I don't know, because I've watched all the movies, but I've never really focused heavily on what happened to the Barbasol can. Like we see that in this game, but what happened really now in what do they consider the canon for like the Jurassic World movies? I'm interested in that, and I would love to find out more about that. Am I gonna have to make a third video for this, a bonus to the bonus where I actually go and do research? I don't know. Why not? You know, that could be something that would be fun. Go and do research. I might even do a video on the movies and then talk about it a little bit more there. Maybe like a full, actually, I'm just thinking out loud, but yeah, that kind of sounds pretty fun to me. But aside from all that, so that's kind of like that canon side of Jurassic Park the game, where it doesn't really work with the future canon that ended up happening, that they weren't, you know, they couldn't have foreseen that happening. And then the Classics collection. So that's basically, I didn't really mention enough of that. I feel like I set it up in the video yesterday where I was like, this was created as a canon storyline, and then I never brought it up again about how it isn't canon anymore. And I'm just not an expert. I'm not someone that delves deep into all those details. I haven't even read the original book. Like I have so much more information to, I feel like I have a lot. I've watched a lot of the interviews for this game. I watched so much behind the scenes stuff for the movies. And sometimes there's just so much information in your brain about these things that they all get muddied together and you just forget about them, at least depending on how your brain works, I guess. But a lot of that information, like all I remember from everything, literally everything, is that there was a big storm while filming the original Jurassic Park movie. So they all had to like wait indoors, like they were all sleeping in one big room. A hurricane hit them, I think. That's literally all I can remember from all the behind the scenes stuff. But I would love to go see exactly where the story has gone, because they're still making another movie, and I think there is like a true timeline for all these things going on. It's not like super, it doesn't feel like it's as, you know, it's set in stone or as crucial to this universe as it is for like Star Wars or the MCU. Like nobody is ever really talking about the Jurassic timeline, the Jurassic Canon timeline. I'm sure some people are, but it doesn't feel like as big of a thing for them, because these are just dinosaur movies. You're going for the action, you're going for the fun. But the story of the new trilogy fascinates me. There's so much weird stuff that they did in Fallen, was it Fallen Kingdom, and then Dominion. There's so many weird story elements that they did with it. The Jurassic franchise, or the Jurassic history of Jurassic Park, all of it is just very fun. I think it's a very fun franchise to learn more about and just to jump into and see where it's gone, where it's going. All the games that have come out, all the, like, I want to read the books. There's a Claire book about like her backstory before we see her in Jurassic World. And I know she's not like everybody's favorite character, but I love that kind of stuff. I do like canon. I do like knowing that these things exist in this world that they're in. It just adds a little bit. It doesn't, like, you don't necessarily need that stuff, but I just find it very fun, very, you know, people love their different kinds of things. That's something I really get into. I love the Star Wars canon. I love the MCU canon, and following all of that as much as I can. I've gotten a little bit out of it the last few years just because it is a lot to keep up with. But yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to touch on here. And then I just wanted to show a little bit more footage, honestly, of the Classics collection. I realized I kind of mentioned it, showed like a minute maybe at most, maybe less than that, of the footage. But there's some great footage of these games. They look so good now with this like remastered collection. I never played them back in the day. I don't know what years they all came out, but they were so much fun to play. It's not something I'll ever like really want to go back to, but while I was playing it, I was having an amazing time. There was some I loved a lot more than other ones. The controls are just very odd for someone that doesn't play these that often. They're very like sticky is what I would call them. They just feel like you want to jump, and they jump so slowly. And I do also feel like in the video I made yesterday, I was a little negative. I was just trying to say what I felt, though. Those were authentic feelings and thoughts that came to my mind. So sorry if it was a little negative. I did have a good time with it, and I liked all of these games. I don't want this to go on too long, so maybe I'll put in some of the collection, the retro collection video footage for some of the stuff even for some of the video where I was talking about the movies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just a little bonus. I was kind of not sure where I wanted to go today with like making a new video. This kind of seems like a fun add-on, though. I think that's, you know, games have so much add-ons nowadays, DLCs. Why not do it with some videos? There's no reason to just like say, oh, well, it's already out there. Let's do another one, and maybe I'll make another one, and who knows? It's all for fun. I hope you are enjoying this. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. And yeah, maybe I'll cut a little bit of this so it isn't too long, but that's basically it. So thank you all. If you are also watching this, I appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.